One. Benefits of a VA loan. Thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel. My name is Colleen with Remax Action First. And today I am so honored and excited to bring in a very special guest here from Fairway Mortgage. We have Matt Mangini. Matt, say hi.
Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for having me.
Yes, you're welcome. Thanks for taking a few minutes out of the day. Now, today, at the time of this recording, we are just a couple days away from Veterans Day here in 2023. So I wanted to just give a shout out and thank you to all of our veterans and military. You guys are heroes. Thank you for protecting our freedom here in this country. And for those people who may not be familiar with the VA loans, I want to make sure that everybody knows the benefits of it. But before we go into that, real quick here, Matt, tell us a little bit about yourself and Fairway Mortgage. Just go ahead, about 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Matt Mangini. I'm with Fairway here in Tampa. We're local lenders, so we really live and breathe this market. We're right across from the Bucks Stadium here off of Himes.
Go Bucks.
Let's go Bucks. My background prior to mortgages is in wealth management, so it's really important to really understand the financial process of buying a home, what it means. It's a very large investment, so you want to make sure that it's the right one for you and you're doing it correctly for your financial goals. And I really take that into that background into the home buying process. So I believe it's not a one-stop shop or one size fits all. It really is needs to be catered to your goals and your family's financial needs.
Okay, thank you. All right, thanks, Matt. Now let's get started right away. So there's different loans out there. There's conventional loans, FHA, there's VA loans. But today, in honor of the Veterans Day holiday coming up, I wanted to just real quickly go over the benefits. So go ahead, Matt, take it away. Tell us a little bit about the VA loans.
Yeah, VA loans are probably the best thing going, in my opinion. Because of what the guy or gal had to go through in order to be VA eligible, which are Fairways that we really prioritize or honor our veterans. We have something called Red Friday, where every Friday we wear red, stands for Remember Every Deployment. And we just really appreciate all the sacrifices that both you and your families have made in order to be VA eligible in the first place. So from the bottom of our hearts, really, we appreciate your service. And it's well-deserved, the VA loan. It's 0% down loan, which means the barrier to entry and buying a piece of real estate is significantly less. It really reduces the financial burden, if you will, of buying a home, and is able to keep more money in your pocket, right? There are closing costs associated with VA loans, though. So, it's something that we have to plan for. In this market, Colleen is great at getting seller concessions or coupling it with a program that you'll hear us talk about later, Hometown Heroes, where we can get your closing costs covered. So there's some different options and still flexibility with your VA loan. However, it is one of the best things going. It really is.
It really is. Yes, thank you. And I do want to give a quick plug for another program that veterans and active military can take advantage of. You had mentioned Hometown Heroes, but there's another one. This is called Homes for Heroes, which is completely different than other things related. Now, this one you can actually take advantage of whether you're buying a home or selling a home, but you have to be represented by an agent such as myself to help you get qualified for this. I say qualified, but really it's a gift back to you after closing as a thank you for being a hero. So if you're a veteran or active military, thank you again for your service, but also the other professions that do qualify, firefighters, healthcare workers, police officers, EMS, and teachers. Okay, so this is Homes for Heroes. Thank you for being a hero in our community. But again, you can couple all of these different programs and hopefully you can get a really good deal and probably have hardly any closing costs if you can do it all right, or you'll get it refunded back to you with this program, after closing. So contact me if you want more information about that program, but you do have to be affiliated with an agent. So if I'm telling you about it, contact me. All right. So anyway, enough about that. But this is just so great. I love that we have different things and benefits for those that served in our country, our veterans and active military. Now, besides veterans and active military, who else is eligible for a VA loan?
You have surviving spouses as well. That's a big group that have also made a lot of sacrifice and are well deserving of their benefits too. So
Yeah, absolutely. I
can't
can't
can't forget
imagine
about
being the
them.
spouse, and seeing if my husband going off or whatever, if it's your
Yeah.
wife that went off, whatever it is, it's just like that would be tough. You got to stay home, take care of the home, take care of the kids and everything. And meanwhile, you're waiting every day. Is everything okay? Just not having your person there to be
Yeah.
a companion. So, okay. So what else? What else can you tell us about the VA loan?
Yeah. Well, VA loans also ultimately most loans, if you're putting a little bit down, you have something called mortgage insurance. Whereas a conventional loan, the cutoff is 20%. So if you're putting down less than 20%, you have mortgage insurance. It's basically the lender charging you an extra fee, if you will, for having not enough equity, is it in layman's terms. FHA loans require you to carry it for the life of the loan. VA, one of the benefits of a VA loan is there is no mortgage insurance. So again, your monthly payment is going to be a little bit less if you're comparing the same terms from an FHA loan to a VA loan or a VA loan to a conventional loan. So not only are the barriers to entry less, but your monthly expenses is also going to be less.
Okay, fantastic. And what about credit score? What's kind of the limitations for that?
Yeah, so credit score 580 is the minimum for VA loans. Obviously, the better credit you have, the better rates and pricing you're going to have for the loan. So it's always good to kind of keep that credit buttoned up. But there's the VA loans are phenomenal, and what people don't also realize is you can put a down payment down with a VA loan if you want to. You're going to get even better rates and pricing if you do put a down payment down because you don't need to. So they look at it as, oh my gosh, look how qualified this person is. If you have good credit and you're actually putting a down payment down, which is really popular when you have someone who's maybe selling a home and moving into another home, and they want to kind of they're more conscious of their monthly payment, so they want their loan to be a little bit less. Um, but you can put a down payment down. A lot of people don't realize that, and it's actually really beneficial if you can swing it.
Yeah. And we might be seeing this in the near future. We might be seeing some assumable loans coming up. And so for the VA loans, those are assumable. So let's say if you, as a buyer, you find a seller that has a loan that's lower than the prices, than the rates are right now. Let's say they have a rate that's 3% or 4%. You can assume that loan. Now there are some things you got to be careful with that. It might take a little bit longer of a process. It could be a few months, so it might not be as quick. But if you're able to be flexible about the time, right? I mean, I think I'm just going
Absolutely.
off of what
No,
because I have a client that is looking for that right now. And I know we really haven't been working with assumable loans for years because the rates already has been pretty low. But this is something that we might see come into fruition here. So yeah, so if that's a possibility, call Matt and find out if you're a seller and you're watching this. This can also help you sell your home too, because if you have an assumable loan, that will make your home look better and more attractive than your neighbor's home if somebody can assume the loan. But you'll have to find out more details on that, and that's why it's good to get with a professional like Matt at Fairway Mortgage to make sure you know all those fine details. Okay, anything else you want to tell us about the VA loan?
I don't think so. I mean, a lot of people. I'm actually doing a loan for someone right now who they're using their second VA loan, believe it or not, and some people don't realize that you can do that. It's really based off their entitlement. So his first loan is not very large, and it's actually up. He's a commercial fisherman. It's up in Alaska, and he does different fishing up there than down here and in the Gulf. And he's buying another home down here, and he's using a VA loan. And his entitlement, he has enough entitlement to do so. And there's a calculation for it. He's gonna, if it's over a certain loan amount, he's gonna have to put down about 1.5%, but still drastically less than if you were to use a conventional loan or FHA loan or anything of the sort. So the benefit doesn't stop at your first loan. There's the VA has a far reach, and the benefits are great.
And does it have to be your primary residence?
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Yeah.
VAs are
Okay.
all primary.
Right, right. Okay, good. And you were saying something, I think, earlier before we started recording, something about up to 4% for sellers
Yeah.
concessions. Or
Given that VA loan, obviously there's no down payment like we spoke about. There are still closing costs though, which, you still have taxes, property taxes, homeowners insurance, title costs. So things that are involved in a real estate transaction, those costs or fees are still hold true for a VA loan. So there are closing costs. However, you can get up to a max concession of 4% with a VA loan. So what that means is, there's no out-of-pocket expense with the down payment. You can get some negotiation on the closing costs. I mean, you can be in a home for very little out-of-pocket potentially, if you're working with the right team.
Yes, absolutely. And guys, the nice thing about working with myself and Matt is we are a partnership, and you want to have you want to use a buyer's agent and that has a good connection with a lender if possible. It's nice. It just helps things go a lot more smoother, and there's already, just it's just going to help. The communication is better. So be sure that just think about, if you haven't gotten your buyer's agent yet, definitely give me a call and we can talk about some things. And if you don't have a lender, and again, it's best to have a mortgage broker versus maybe even your own bank, because mortgage brokers have different options. This is what they do every single day. They can tell you all the different programs that are available for down payment assistance and things like that. And there was something else I wanted to say, but yeah, so the VA loans are fantastic. Oh, what I wanted to talk about was, I think sometimes VA loans might get a little bad rap because the inspection might be a little tighter, as far as the inspector goes. Have you had any issues with that in any of your loans?
It is different. It is different. There's no two ways about that. However, as a consumer, right, you want to make sure that you know the home you're getting into, and you kind of know the ins and outs of it. That's what the inspection period is for, though. So maybe you can negotiate a little bit more because they know, hey, I'm accepting a VA loan, and we know that the inspection's a little bit tighter. So, we're willing to, maybe, sometimes that's them saying, hey, we're willing to work with you. Or, the buyer can fix it too if they want. That's not, it's not all a one-way street. So I think it's good because it gives transparency on really the true state of the home you're buying. And it really looks out for the buyer.
Yes, I agree. So don't let, if you're a seller and you're watching this video, some agents might be trying to direct you one way or another, but just keep an open mind when you have buyers making an offer on your home. And it's great if someone has a VA loan because of everything we just talked about. And they got their act together, and I think
Oftentimes
it's
they're
great.
well qualified too.
Well,
Veterans. I mean, they're militant. I mean, right?
right.
They have discipline. They typically carry
Yes.
that into their finances. So having a VA buyer is definitely, I think, more of a positive than a negative. Truly, you have a qualified
Yes.
buyer.
For sure, for sure. Yeah. So there you have it. And there's other programs available. Now, you mentioned Hometown Heroes. Okay. Tell us just really briefly about, I think at the time of this recording, they just brought this program back. We don't know how long it's going to be in existence, but tell us how somebody who has a VA loan can couple it with some of these other programs. Go ahead.
Absolutely. And that's really where you get the most bang for your buck with these programs, is coupling it with a VA loan. Um, Hometown Heroes, for example, the program, it gives you 5% of assistance. I won't get into all the details. We have a separate video for that. But VA loans have a zero down payment, right? And closing costs on average are about 3%. So that leaves 2% left over that's unaccounted for. What we do is we typically slide that over and put that as a down payment, which lowers your loan amount, which lowers your monthly payment. So, in a roundabout way, we can kind of finagle the money around to make it make the most sense for you, even in your VA loan. So, there are different creative strategies we can use, especially coupling a VA loan with these different programs.
Oh, yes, that sounds fantastic. So you will want to get in touch with Matt because he can tell you the different strategies and different down payment assistance programs. But obviously, if you're watching this, you're probably eligible for a VA loan. So once again, we thank you for your service. For those of you watching, or if you know somebody that's a veteran or active military and they want to know a little bit more about it, definitely share this video with friends and family. And yeah, so anything else, Matt? Or
I
what
think
do you
we
think?
got it covered. I mean, anything else is probably specific to that person. So let's get in
Mhm,
contact and talk about it and see what
mhm.
makes the most sense for you.
Okay, well, thank you, Matt. I appreciate you coming on and making an appearance here on my YouTube channel. I'm super excited. And thank you again for those of you watching, a like, subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, or if you have any statements, or if you're watching this video and you just want to do a shout out and say thank you to all of our veterans, you can do that too. So thank you once again, and happy Veterans Day, everybody. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.